In Capital News tonight, the government is urged to depend on itself and avoid high-interest loans. Ebola infections continue to drop in Rwanda. Government asks Tanzanians to contribute to the national team through the Sports Council. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. The long-standing parliamentary committee has urged the government to build the capacity to depend on itself budget-wise so as to implement development projects following their evaluation showing that there will be a shortage of low-interest loans as well as budget aid.
Pamoja na uwepo wa changamoto za kibajeti kutoka kwa wadau wa maendeleo.
Although there are budget challenges addressed by development stakeholders, the current direction is to contribute directly to stipulated projects. However, the committee is informing the government that it is improving the procedure of identifying all funds coming in the country for the purpose of implementing development projects. In our budget, we have tried to advise the government to focus on more production, reduce taxes and amend TRA systems that will fulfill the current demands. Because with the current system, nothing will change. Revenue standards will remain the same.
Hata wakimleta malaika kukaa pale, mapato yataendelea kwa.
The Division Combating Illegal Drugs, along with the Terrorist Task Force in Newala, Mtwara region, are detaining 9 suspects accused of being involved with the drug trafficking network.
Jitihada zilifanyika tukamkamata bwana Rashid Ndege Ngoma.
Efforts were made to arrest Rashid Ndege Ngoma, who was in possession of 9 grams of heroin drugs, where we managed to find out that he got the drugs from Mohammed Awadh Mfyangizi, 26 years of age, living in Kwamtogore, Dar es Salaam, who has also been arrested. After the investigations, they all declared that the network begins from Tanzanians living in Mozambique. These suspects will be taken to court after investigations are complete.
Kimsingi walipohojiwa wote walikiri kujihusisha na mtandao huu.
The government of the United States of America has advised Tanzania to review its business and investment policies so as to attain the nation's policy and intent to become a middle-income industrial economy by 2025, as well as to attract a large number of entrepreneurs and investors from the United States.
U.S. companies, when they are considering investment, what are they looking for? They look primarily for predictable policies, an administrative ease of doing business, and adhesion to rule of law. Yes, the country's state of rule of law directly affects how attractive it is for American investors. Saying anything different would be fooling ourselves. Efforts to fight corruption, support political pluralism, and grow democratic institutions have a very positive effect on the long-term business environment. Entrepreneurs here and all the entrepreneurs will tell you that they must plan for the long term to ensure their success.
I would like to say that the Prime Minister's office, the Ministry of Trade and Investment, and all other ministries which are related in one way or another to that initial plan to create a conducive environment for business and investment will all be involved in the preparation of just one law which will ensure that the right environment for business and investment is created.
Pamoja na changamoto zote zilizopo,
I would like to say that all investors are free to come to Tanzania, but they must first remember a few important things. The first is corruption. Any investor that comes to the country must be willing to fight corruption. I would like to say that we at the Tanzania Private Sector Foundation, the TPSF, are very happy when there are these types of talks between the government and the private sector. In fact, I would like to note that the core function of the TPSF is to facilitate these types of discussions.
The government has admitted that for a very long time they were ill-equipped and not prepared to find markets for farmers' harvest in the country, something that has been causing a lack of markets for many harvests produced, leading to the harvest being sold for small prices that do not meet the farmers' costs.
There are big market challenges to most of our agricultural produce in the country. That is why we are creating strategic measures on how we'll get more markets and how to preserve our produce. In this case, it is important for farmers to increase quality of products and find direct connection between farmers and industries. We have sensitized a lot on this kind of farming. But in the end, questions of where are the markets kept on rising. I so believe that this is a wonderful platform of identifying challenges of markets as well as coming up with solutions that will rescue farmers from losses that they incur season in and season out. This sector has huge potentials of meeting global markets demands.
Children failing to enter into the formal education system in the country has continued to be a problem for migrant communities, especially the Maasai, whereby in Tanga they have now begun to receive education through laptops and will later be able to enter the formal education system.
That Tanga, but this project really has a universal dimension. I mean, when we were saying in the video that over 260 million children are out of school, that is not in Tanzania alone, that is worldwide. So by coming up with a tool that can enable those children to teach themselves with the help of one gadget, you know, it is really a breakthrough for the world, not only for Tanga or only for Tanzania. And I really think that the Tanga administration and the Ministry of Education played in bringing this resource that can now be used the world over is great, and we should really acknowledge it and be thankful.
We are looking forward again for another good cooperation between you and us, especially in supporting learning and teaching in our classrooms. We have been doing this for out-of-school pupils, self-learning through the hardware that were supplied to the pupils to be. So I could say that, because until now I think they're still out of schools. And we have a lot of children who are out of school, and this is a great concern to us. We want to make sure that we are reaching everyone in education, to make sure that they gain the skills of reading, writing, and arithmetics.
Implementation of the national strategy to deal with poaching involving various organs as well as the public has been highly successful and led to Tanzania being removed from the list of 8 countries reported to be leading in poaching incidents in Africa.
Poaching activities have decreased by 5% in Tanzania following close monitoring of illegal killing of elephants. We are not satisfied yet. The fightings are ongoing until this menace becomes history in Tanzania. We have succeeded to place vector collars in some of elephants in order to track their movements, aiming at identifying where do elephants go once heading outside reserves, and allow game rangers to be able to find them and return them back to the reserves. In Tanzania, the business done by poachers is from old trophies. We have no recent reports of poaching activities done in our parks or even reserves. But I would like to take this opportunity to warn poachers not to continue selling those trophies. It is best that they should come and surrender them to me without any case. Because if they will dare to find markets, they should know that they will be selling the trophies to the government, and we shall arrest them and take them to court.
The appeal of 3 out of 4 accused who had been sentenced to life imprisonment after being found guilty of burning the Bunju police station has been returned to the High Court so that further directives can be given following the discovery of some mix-up.
While she was at the Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court, the Deputy Registrar of the High Court, Christentia Kisongo, said that after going through her earlier documents, she had thought that the best thing to do would be to return the file to the senior judge for more directives to be given. On February 23rd this year, at the Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court, the Chief Magistrate, Thomas Simba, had sentenced 8 accused to life imprisonment after they were found guilty of burning the Bunju police station, where 10 suspects in the same case had been set free. In another development, the Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court has directed that the film actress Wema Sepetu should remain in jail for 8 days while waiting for a decision to be made about her request for bail. Wema discovered that she was in trouble after twice failing to come to the court. As a result of that mistake, the court gave a directive for her arrest on the grounds that she had jumped bail. Magistrate Kasonde said that the case will come up for another mention on June 24th, and the accused, Wema Sepetu, is to remain in jail until that date arrives. In her defense to the question of why her bail should not just be revoked outright, Wema claimed that it is true that she failed to show up in court on May 11th and June 14th this year. Despite that, though, the actress claimed that regarding the first time on May 11th, she had gone on a working journey to Morogoro region, and she added that she had informed her attorney about this. Wema Sepetu also claimed that regarding the second time on June 14th, that she had actually come to the court, but she was unable to enter the courtroom itself after suddenly experiencing severe menstrual period pains. In light of that, Wema Sepetu said that she had seen it fit to go to the hospital in order to be given an injection for pain management. The state prosecutor, Glory Mwenda, claimed that the accused has never failed to appear in court, and so she called upon the court to give Wema Sepetu a warning. In addition, Prosecutor Glory Mwenda urged the accused to give her sponsors information in a timely manner the next time that she has to change her plans suddenly due to an emergency, so as to avoid inconveniencing the court. On June 11th this year, the prosecution, led by Prosecutor Sylvia Mitanto, claimed that the accused, Wema Sepetu, was not in court, and furthermore, that she had failed to give any reasons for her absence. Wema has been charged with allegedly spreading pornographic videos on social media via her mobile phone.
And the Deputy Minister of Transport and Communication, Engineer Atashasta Nditie, has said that some drivers transporting cargo from the regions as well as to neighboring countries do not have sufficient understanding on procedures meant to be followed when removing goods from the port, which contributes to the decline in the transport sector and has created an environment of corruption.
There are times that unscrupulous people mislead while the procedures are open and clear where goods can be released on time. We're grateful for trainings that have been offered. I believe now they can handle all port procedures before their consignments are released.
The project is mainly about building the transporter's capacity. If a driver who is driving the truck carrying cargo from one place to the other is not strong, the economy that is built upon this unit cannot be strong. The transport company that depends on this driver cannot be strong. So we had this in mind when we designed this project. But the question was always, how much is actually being invested in this basic unit?
The transportation sector has a multiplier effect that spans agriculture, tourism, industries, and health sectors, among others. The development in the transportation is thus critical for the entire development efforts. Efficient transportation system is vital for the movement of the industrial goods from the point of production to the point of consumer. This alone explains the importance of putting in place a resilient transportation system that meets global standards.
And that is the end of national news. International news is next. And in international news, the World Health Organization in the Democratic Republic of Congo has said that infections of the Ebola virus have continued to drop and that if collaborative efforts are made, then the disease will end completely soon.
There has been a decrease in the number of people infected with Ebola if politicians speak with one voice in advising the general public to seek medical treatment if one displays Ebola symptoms. Then we will get rid of this illness very soon. Ebola is an illness which has claimed the lives of many people. It's important that everyone follows advice given. They should stop shaking hands and remember to wash hands.
The government of France has commended Kenya for forming a Coast Guard unit on the Indian Ocean and pledged to help Kenya combat illegal business as well as piracy on the ocean.
The idea will be to
We aim to support the government of Kenya's effort to protect mangroves. Mangroves play a crucial role in protecting the environment. It was one of my mission to deter, but also to speak to fishermen on piracy and looting.
A few days after the first incident of Ebola reported in Uganda, the government of Kenya in Nairobi has refuted reports that there is an Ebola outbreak after a woman was found to have symptoms of the disease at Kericho Hospital, southwest of Kenya.
We examined the patient, who is in stable condition. We've confirmed that he doesn't suffer from Ebola. Measures have been taken, including placing the patient in quarantine, and further tests is being conducted. I would like to assure Kenyans and visitors that there is no Ebola, and Ministry of Health is ready to deal with Ebola in case of an outbreak. Ministry of Health has put all health personnel and the general public on alert.
We have one lady
who came to the hospital yesterday displaying Ebola symptoms. Samples were taken from her for testing.
And that is where we end with international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Business Edition, as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think how cost effective are you going to be.
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who are creating employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m. But you can also
Welcome back, and in business news. The Confederation of Tanzania Industry CTI has commended the 2019-2020 budget for having resolved some challenges that were being complained upon by factory owners.
One is to help industries to have a competitive edge. In the recent budget, a lot of focus was to enable industries by reducing the cost of raw materials imported, so as to reduce the cost by reducing tax.
The Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office for Investment, Angela Kairuki, has directed female entrepreneurs in the country to work together to utilize various investment opportunities.
This is one of the indicators used across the world in each country, out of 190 countries assessed by the World Bank, on how easy it is to trade. One of the indicators is how it is easy to do business. This is one area the ministry in charge of investment in Prime Minister's Office is keen to make it better and see how we can move from the 144th position. Investing in sugarcane could be profitable because you don't have to look for a market. There are cooperative unions whereby you farm and they sell your sugarcane for you in a factory.
Small-scale miners at Tunduru District Council, Ruvuma region, have asked for a government minerals valuer at the minerals center in the district so that they can sell the minerals for the required price, unlike now when they sell them without knowing the actual value of the minerals they're selling.
The government has made a decision to empower them by providing them with financial aid. I commend the government for recognizing that this sector could have a big impact, and that could be the case. Our focus is to enable small-scale miners. When they flourish, they remain in the country. If one succeeds and build a story building, then he will employ Tanzanians.
Akienda kujenga nyumba nzuri ya kuishi ataishi na watoto wake, lakini watakuwa ni Watanzania.
That is all for business news, and sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's going to be dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
And in sports news, the government has asked Tanzanians to contribute to the national team through the Sports Council's account in order to improve morale for the squad, which is in Egypt for this year's AFCON competition.
Lakini na sisi tuna wajibu.
They're also responsible to at least give them motivation so they can realize that we care about them. So we decided to take it upon us to be able to contribute anything so that the squad can know the nation is behind them. Recently, Burundi did the same. The whole country was able to contribute for the national team.
Juzi Burundi wamefanya nchi nzima kuichangia timu yao ya taifa, wameweza.
The Taifa Stars bench has been satisfied with the way the squad is proceeding after last night's 1-1 draw in a friendly against Zimbabwe.
First of all, I thank God. We played our second friendly and finished without any injuries. It is an important game, same as the first one. We were trying to solve some of the mistakes that were seen in the first game, and we have succeeded at a certain level. So we are still going. We are going forward, and we want to make sure in the 6 days remaining we can remove the mistakes that were seen here today.
And the Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner Paul Makonda handed the Young Africans Management land at Kigamboni, fulfilling his promise to the club at their fundraising party earlier this week in Dar es Salaam.
We were with them, and you have witnessed that when I was the chairman with the whole Yanga Sports Club management, they've already handed their documents. We needed to have documents that can give them ownership instead of giving it to one person, because it is a registered team. You can find yourself giving land and it becomes an individual property.
Tanzanian boxer Ibrahim Class has defeated Israel Kamwemba from Malawi by a knockout in a non-championship bout that was fought at the Buckets Hall last night.
I was just better than him technically, and that is why I bet him until he decided to stop the fight through a KO. Right now, I'm a different Ibrahim Class. I finished the fight early. Since I went to the US, I have come back different. I have changed my game, and so I finish early. Not like the Ibrahim Class you were used to before, when I won through points.
And the former Roma captain Francesco Totti left his position within the club's management on Monday in a move that will increase fan opposition to the team's American owner, James Pallotta. Here is more on this story.
He has been a technical director since retiring from playing 2 years ago. Totti said he was left out of decision about hiring and firing of coaches and moves in the player transfer market. I never had the chance to express myself. They never involved me, Totti said in a news conference at the Italian Olympic Committee. The first year that can happen, but by the second year I understood what they wanted to do. They knew of my desire to offer a lot to this squad, but they never wanted it. They kept me out of everything. It's a day that I hoped never would have come. After 30 seasons with his hometown club, 25 of them as a player, and leading the club to their last Serie A title in 2001, the 42-year-old Totti remains Roma's most emblematic figure. Presidents come and go, coaches come and go, players come and go, but not emblems, Totti said. This is far worse than retiring as a player. Leaving Roma is like dying. I feel like I'll be better if I died.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night.